大谷翔平、強風に立ち向かう、フィリーズ戦直前レポート、日本時間4月6日、米国時間4月5日、シチズンズ、バンク、パークでドジャース対フィリーズの一戦が行われる。試合前の現地情報によると、この日は冷たい強風が球場内で渦巻き、打球に逆回転のような特殊効果を生み出しているという。特に前日の試合では、大谷翔平が放った打球が打球速度110マイル、約177キロ、打球角度32度、ホームラン確率 96% という完璧な一撃だったが、強風に阻まれて外野フライに終わったと専門家たちも驚きを隠せない。現地のスポーツネット LA の解説陣は、まるでサイクロンの中でプレーしているようだとフィラデルフィア特有の気象状況を指摘。ドジャースのロバーツ監督も、今日の試合は序盤からフィリーズの投手のらにプレッシャーを与え、積極的に走塁して相手を崩したいと意気込んだ。大谷は今日もリードオフとして先発出場。風に負けない打撃に期待がかかる。この後、試合直前の専門家分析と大谷翔平の最新動向を日本語字幕付きで詳しくお届けします。
Watson is with the Dodgers at Citizens Bank Park. Right now she joins us live with more. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Yeah, this stadium, I can safely say that this is one of the loudest stadiums that we visit during the season. And so for Roki Sasaki, it's going to be a tall task. And the Phillies, they're patient at the plate. They've been playing really well, and they're looking to keep things going. This is their first homestand of the season. They're undefeated on this homestand, and they want to beat up on the Dodgers. But for Roki Sasaki, it's going to be a good test for him. Dave Roberts talked about what he wants to see from him that points out he's moving in the right direction.
I just want to see Roki on the attack tonight. I thought we saw that, and he had a good kind of up-close look at Yamamoto last night, how he pitched aggressively, was on the attack, and, you know, with his fastball, with his split. And so that's the blueprint. And I think that you can kind of manage these hitters by attacking them and commanding the fastball, presenting the split as a strike to get them to swing, to chase, put the ball in play softly. So I think for me, it's just kind of, I want to see the aggressiveness and just kind of watching his, you know, his mound presence, poise, demeanor on the mound.
Doesn't seem like you do anything randomly. Do you feel like Barnes can help him with the pitches and the pitch mix that he throws? What was the thought of having Austin catch him today?
I think for me, it's Austin's caught the last couple pens, and they've got a good rapport, which is great. I think giving Roki a different look, I think is helpful. Austin hasn't caught in almost a week, and I think that kind of being able to pour into him on one particular game night, I think is a good thing for Austin, and just kind of giving Will the day, and then he'll catch the next couple of days, and so it just kind of lined up, and I like the kind of relationship that's also building with Roki and Austin, so just a different look.
So for Roki Sasaki, whether it was his bullpen that came between the Tokyo start and his start at Dodger Stadium, or the bullpen for this before this game, Dave Roberts and the pitching coaches have felt that they've been able to see something in those, that they feel like things are moving in the right direction. He's working with Austin Barnes, so that's what led to the decision to put Austin behind the plate to catch him. But for Roki, this is going to be hopefully a good step for him. He's been talking and working closely with the pitching coaches. They said that he's been more open just to getting feedback, just seeing how the stuff has been playing in these games. So for him to hopefully go a little bit deeper in the game, for him to have some success, Dave Roberts has made it clear it's going to start with that fastball command, because then that can set up his splitter that we know is very, very good, guys.
All right, probably the biggest test of his young major league career today there in Philadelphia. Kirsten, thank you very much. Right now, let's get our first look at how Dave Roberts is setting his lineup against right-hander Aaron Nola. It is Shohei leading it off, followed by Mookie Betts, and then Teoscar Hernandez. Michael Conforto will bat in the cleanup spot. Tommy Edman at second base, batting fifth, coming off another home run last night. Max Muncy's at third, Andy Pages in center, Kike gets the start at first, and Austin Barnes will do the catching for Roki Sasaki. Jerry, what sticks out?
I'm looking at second baseman Tommy Edman. He is off to a great start. 5 home runs. It leads the team, but he is not a home run hitter. He'd be the first to tell you that, because he's putting great swings on baseballs. Balls are carrying out of the ballpark.
Yeah, you know, I know it's early in the season. You know, I'm looking at the bottom part of the lineup. You look at those averages and everything, and it's so early. But at the same time, you like to see some of those bats to start get going. You know, find those guys finding the ways to get on base. We always talk about how important with this type of lineup the Dodgers have is turning that lineup over.
All right, trying to make it a longer and deeper lineup. Will Smith, he has caught both of Roki Sasaki's outings so far this season, but day game after a night game, Austin Barnes getting the opportunity today, and plus Nomar, we heard Dave Roberts just talk about the relationship that Roki and Austin Barnes have been able to establish. How do you think he can maybe help Roki today?
Well, listen, I mean, Austin Barnes is a great caller of a game back there, and he also is amazing at adjusting over the course of the game, adjusting what the game is giving you and also what the pitcher is giving you as well. And Dave Roberts touched on it. He's the one that's been going out there and just catching his bullpen. This is not knock on Will Smith that he's not willing to catch bullpen. Will Smith's probably usually getting ready for the game and focused on that particular moment. Austin Barnes going out there, catching those bullpens, working with it, and you're like, look, let's give Rookie all the confidence that he possibly have, a guy that maybe he's getting used to, that he's also talking to, as you see right there, over the course of those bullpen. So he's also looking at, we need to get Will Smith the day off anyway. So what all lines up, what makes sense? So this is the reason why Austin Barnes is in there. You know, because of what his ability, we know he's unbelievable as a defensive caller, going out there and adjusting. So why not?
Austin Barnes is, you just touched on it, no more. He is one of the best guys at kind of adjusting a game plan on the fly, depending on what that pitcher has that day, and also facing a veteran lineup like the Philadelphia Phillies that can make their adjustments on the fly as well. So guys like Schwarber, guys like Bryce Harper, certain counts, they will be hunting and sitting on pitches. Austin Barnes behind the plate can see certain things and will adjust accordingly. So, and also having that rapport with a rookie like Sasaki, it's so important. And hopefully Sasaki trusts his stuff, because you certainly don't want to be behind this type of lineup.
Trust his stuff, and hopefully the mechanics have been ironed out as well in his bullpens the previous week. For the 7th time this season and 5th straight game, Mookie Betts getting the start at shortstop for the Dodgers. Only one error committed this year for the 6-time Gold Glove right fielder as he makes that transition to shortstop full-time in 2025. Plus, we thought we would see Freddie Freeman back in the lineup this weekend in Philadelphia, but that slip in the shower last weekend has now landed the World Series MVP on the shelf. Kirsten joins us again live with more on today's game. Hi, Kirsten.
All right, John. Well, as you can already see, the wind is the biggest factor, I think, in this one. Yes, it's cold, but the wind is howling behind us, and it's more blowing towards left field. But in the stadium, it kind of creates like a cyclone effect where it's also just blowing in towards home plate. I feel like you can kind of see it with how my hair is flowing right now, but it's just, it could play into being a big factor in this game tonight. Dave Roberts talked about it this afternoon, how he thinks it could play out.
Yeah, I think yesterday the wind certainly played a factor. I think I'm not sure how it's blowing today, but it is cold out there. I think, you know, the takeaway is, you know, not giving away free passes, not just giving away 90 feet, making guys beat you with the bat, putting the ball in play. I think trying to, you know, get 90 feet, get on base, create some type of action on the bases, certainly from a guy like Nola, who really good competitor, really good breaking ball, good stuff. But you can run on them, you know. So hopefully we can create some stress on the bases and take good at bats. But excited to see what Roki does tonight.
You mentioned Aaron Nola before. What makes him sort of a challenge from watching him from afar, but also what makes you think you can kind of take advantage of him on the bases, like you mentioned?
Aaron is. I just really like the way he competes. He's a strike thrower. He can strike his secondary pitches, got a good breaking ball, and so you just never know what's going to come. He can kind of keep you off balance. He goes deep into games, and so that's always a challenge when, you know, hitters like to hit the straight ball, and so he kind of does a really good job of changing speeds.
Like Dave Roberts said, when it comes to facing Aaron Nola, the hope is just to get to him early, get to their bullpen, and get him out of the game. For this team, the wind, they've talked about it. Even when you look at Shohei Ohtani's, that ball, he crushed last night. 110 miles per hour off the bat, a 32-degree launch angle, a 96% hit probability. But unfortunately, it just wasn't the case. So talking to some of the guys, they felt like that's a ball that likely should have gone out of here. And the wind played to be a big factor in this one. So they do suspect it will be the case with that today. today. They did not take batting practice on the field, focused a bit more on the defensive side of the game today, but hopefully they can get things going offensively in this one tonight, guys.
All right, so great as Shohei Ohtani's 2024 season was, he's actually off to a better start through 9 games here in 2025, and soon we're going to see him pitching again as he comes back from a second major elbow surgery. Kirsten Watson is in Philadelphia right now. She joins us live with more on Shohei in our injury report brought to you by Keck Medicine of USC. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, Don. Well, if you think about just with that start offensively to the 2025 season, that's exactly where he wanted to be. He spoke with the media after spring training before the team headed to Tokyo, talking about how he was going to slow down his pitching program. They were going to slow down on the bullpens. He wasn't going to be off the mound, just throwing off of flat ground. When the team got back to Los Angeles from Tokyo, that's when he re-picked up with his bullpens. He actually threw another one today, and Dave Roberts, they talked about how this was a mental as well as a physical reset. But of course, he's continuing to move in the right direction. Dave Roberts today talked about just how the bullpen session went today for Shohei and what is expected to be next for him on the pitching side.
I heard it was 25 pitches. It was fastball, change. Not sure if he threw any splits in there. Haven't debriefed with the pitching coaches, but they said, from what I heard, it was positive. His next one will be a touch and feel on Thursday, and then he'll do another full one next Saturday. So still won't be facing hitters yet, so we're not there yet.
Like a number of pitches you want him to get to, or, you know, pitches he's able to throw before then he can get to facing?
Yeah, I think that the next phase would be using his entire pitch mix, and then that would entail probably like a 30 to 35 pitch bullpen. So that's kind of the next step, yeah.
With Shohei, why so long between bullpen sessions? You know, a week between, are we still looking at slow play?
Yeah, I think that it's a week, but then there's also the one in between where he touches him out on a Thursday. And I think it's just more of trying to keep him on a similar, like, 7-day program on what the schedule would look going out and build from there.
So like Dave Roberts said, for Shohei Ohtani, his throwing program, it looks like pretty much a weekly bullpen, and that's going to be a similar schedule for him once he gets back onto the big league mound and back into regular season games. Like he said for today, or actually if we go back to Los Angeles, we should start with this one. With the pitch mix in his bullpen was primarily fastball, mixing a few two-seamers in there. This one today, Dave Roberts didn't have exactly what the pitch mix was. So the hope one is that soon he'll be able to bring in his full pitch mix once he starts facing hitters. He is going to still be with the big league team. He's not going to go on a rehab assignment, but they've been adamant they don't want to put a timeline on his return, so they're going to give him as much time as he needs till he feels ready. But I think it's clear that Shohei's looking forward with each week getting closer and closer to being back on the big league mound, guys.
That's delivered for you. So you have the honors. Keep it going today. Who you got?
Well, here's the thing, John, because Shohei Ohtani delivered, and he heard me call him, and he delivered on the walk-off shot, how can I run away from him? I'm going back to the big show. Big night over there in Philly.
Not surprising. Yeah, you go with
We're hot, man. We're hot. Me and Shohei are hot.
Let it ride. I went with somebody who has experience playing over there in the Northeast, especially being over there in the NL East for a while when he was over there. I'm going with Michael Conforto.
Like that.
I think Michael Conforto has a big game.
All right, John, welcome to Philadelphia. The middle game of this 3-game series, the Dodgers and the Phillies from Citizens Bank Park. Well, welcome inside. Hope you're having a great weekend. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson joins us in just a bit. The Dodgers suffered their first loss of the season last night, 3-2. They sit at 8-1. Still a chance today to win 9 of their first 10.
The amazing thing is they are 8-1, but there's some things that we know they're going to get better at, whether it's running the bases, playing better defensively, getting Mookie and Freddie in the lineup together. So still a lot of room for improvement, but we're 8-1.
And a lot of room for improvement for the guys starting today. Roki Sasaki makes his 3rd start in the major leagues, and another difficult one coming here against this lineup.
No question. When you look at those graphics right now, the thing that just really jumps out, 61 pitches, 32 strikes. The stuff is there. The execution needs to be a lot better.
All right, it is Sasaki for the Dodgers. Aaron Nola goes for the Phillies. We've got first pitch from Philadelphia. A little bit overcast, a little bit cool. Nice day for baseball. Dodgers and Phillies coming up on Sportsnet LA. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Smash Jack is back with so much more beef. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. Kind of fearing the worst weather-wise coming into the weekend. They're okay last night, and so far so okay today. It's nice enough to play the game. Temperature 60 degrees. It is sprinkled a little bit. It's pretty windy again. And actually, while this place has a reputation for being a hitter's paradise, it's actually played neutral the last few years, and the wind has been the great equalizer. In fact, the last 2 years, this park's lost more home runs to the wind than all but 3 others. Wrigley being one of those. That's a place you think of when you think of the wind knocking balls down. You saw the wind play a role in last night's game with Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez both hitting balls that you figured were going to go but got knocked down by those Citizen Bank winds. Batting orders presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealers, and it is Ohtani to lead off. Mookie Betts hitting second and short. Teoscar Hernandez in right field hitting third. Then Conforto, Edman, and Muncy. Andy Pages in center field hitting seventh. Kike Hernandez continues to hold down first base with Freddie Freeman on the injured list, and Austin Barnes gets his second start of the season. 31-year-old Aaron Nola, who made his debut back when Ryan Howard was the first baseman, Chase Utley was the second baseman. He's been here now 11 seasons, the longest tenured Philly. And right there with Clayton Kershaw, the only pitchers in baseball that have been with their teams that long.
Yeah, he's an absolute workhorse, too. He comes out, he's going to give you a lot of innings. Doesn't have overpowering stuff, got that great knuckle curve, but he is their guy. This is the pitch arsenal. You see that knuckle curve. I mean, he wants to throw that every single pitch. If you're a hitter, you know you're going to get it. Don't have a lot of success off of that. He hit 221 against it.
Phillies are 6-1, one of the 4 teams in the National League with just 1 loss at this point. Dodgers, of course, one of those teams as well at 8-1, trying to win 9 of their first 10. 3-2 Phillies in the first game. Nola to Ohtani. Off we go in game 2. And it's a fastball strike. Ohtani 1 for 4 yesterday. Crushed a ball to center field that died shy of the track even. Wasn't like it, you know, got knocked down by the wind and just barely kept it in here. Stayed in by a healthy distance. When you look at the exit velocity on that, 32-degree launch angle on that, in the StatCast era, there have been 40 balls hit with that speed and at that angle. 38 of them home runs, one of them a triple. That is the only time a ball's been hit that well and been an out.
Yeah, it just wasn't their night last night. Teoscar Hernandez hit a ball as well. Did not go out. There's that knuckle curve, Joe. Not wasting much time right after Ohtani with that pitch.
Here he comes to the 1-2. Ohtani swings and misses. Finished him off with a curve. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, celebrating 20 years of good times. Celebrating good times right there. He can get beer all over his face as long as he has Decorte. Decorte Cosmetics. Japanese luxury skincare. That's what it comes from. That's what the eye thing comes from.
Is that what you're wearing this afternoon?
You could tell. Thank you. Yes, I'm wearing Decorte. And folks, I would love to get a deal with Decorte as well. I'll do the eye thing. I don't know if I'll wink the way Shohei does in the ad. And we'd love to show you. We just don't know if we're allowed to show you Decorte ads. So you can Google it. Decorte. 1-0 from Aaron Nola. Big rip and a miss. Ohtani struck out his first time. 1 out of 5 in this series. Betts and Hernandez to follow. Dodgers in front on a Kike Hernandez home run. Nola's 1-1 pitch. A little bit outside. 2-2.
Nola doing a nice job of living on the edges. He started that cutter earlier in the count in on Shohei's hands, got him to offer at it the last 2 pitches on the outer part of the plate.
Ohtani starting the 3rd for the Dodgers and taking a change just slow. Joey's worked it full. Nola comes back home. Spoils it, stays alive. Only Charlie Morton throws the curveball more than Aaron Nola. Throwing it a bunch already today. Dodgers have seen a lot of Nola through the years. They've beaten him 6 of the last 7 times they've seen him. 31-year-old from Baton Rouge fires another payoff. Ohtani scorches one down the line. Foul. Shohei's not so sure. 117, by the way. Yeah, that was foul. I think he hit it that hard, it's fair no matter where it goes. It's just, it's freaky.
And you got to believe that Nola comes back with that changeup away or something right now. You don't want to mess with anything in the middle part of the plate.
Thought he had him on the changeup a couple pitches ago.
Yeah.
Didn't get the call. Yeah, try to wrap a curve in there instead. Ohtani takes ball 4, and the Dodgers have the leadoff man on. Up and down this lineup, guys with poor numbers against Nola. The guy coming up here, Mookie Betts, hitting above 350 with a pair of home runs against him.
Yeah, nice job of going to the right side. He's got a huge hole right now with Harper having to hold Ohtani on at first base.
Ready, change. Ohtani's caught stealing last night, snapped a string of 38 consecutive successful regular season steals. Good lead. There's a second disengagement. Are you surprised guys haven't been more automatic go after 2 disengagements since that rule was put on?
You know, I would think that you would be automatic go if the pitcher is getting down close to the 0 on the pitch clock. Then you could set up both. But when the guy is on the mound and the batter's in the box, you got a long time. It's not automatic go because the pitcher can just hold the ball. And you can get stale in that lead. And he gets back easily there. But if that pitch clock is down to 4, 3, 2, 1, then yeah, then as a runner, absolutely you go.
Big lead. And why not? Not going. Ball 1.
I don't think he can run after last night, right? There's no Mookie at the plate.
Yeah, not a great time for that. You got Mookie up there as the tying run last night. Ohtani taken off and getting caught. Backed up 2-2. You can understand the 9th inning one, Taylor trying to get into scoring position as the tying run, but the other 2 tough to stomach. Pages and Ohtani.
I mean, if you're Shohei, you're coming back saying, look, I've gone 38 straight. I mean, what are the chances? Which that's a valid argument too.
It's gone full again. Yeah, Dave Roberts said after the game, you go in that situation, you have to be sure. Right. But Ohtani could, to your point, say, well, I was sure. I haven't been caught in a year.
Right. The Pages one is the one that it's a 2-0 count with Mookie at the plate. You got nowhere to go.
Not going on 3-2. That's a base hit to left field, and Betts is 2 for 2.
Mookie using both sides of the field. This time Nola tries to run that sinker up and in, and able to pull his hands through. Just really doing a nice job of quote-unquote hitting. They said went the other way his first at-bat, then shows the ability to turn on it, give Teo an opportunity, RBI situation.
Both hits for Mookie coming with 2 strikes against Nola. And now it's Teoscar Hernandez. Chance for the Dodgers here in the 3rd. First one from Nola, fouled off. Aaron Nola, old school in a couple ways. You're talking about how he truly pitches, the different parts of the zone, that wide arsenal. Muscled up the middle, should be 2. There's 1 and 2. 6-4-3 double play. Ohtani to 3rd, 2 out.
Nola continuing to live on both sides of the plate. This thing running way in, probably 3 or 4 inches off, and Teo just gets the handle on the bat, on the ball. And
from Riverside to hitting in front of second coming of Babe Ruth. Leading off this 5th against Nola. And hitting a big bouncer that Nola ranges over to stab. Throws Barnes out. Gonna bring up Ohtani. Strikeout and a walk for Shohei today. Inside corner for a strike. Shohei continues to do his work to get ready for two-way duty. Just no hurry for him or for the team. No reason to rush him back as far as the team in the standings. And for him, it lets him focus more on his hitting to open the year. On the ground here to Bryson Stott. 2 up and 2 down in the 5th. But it is his, he loves it. If you go back to, we've talked before about the script that he wrote for his life when he was in high school. That was entirely as a pitcher. So when you think about how long is he going to pitch for, how badly does he want to pitch, pitching has long been his identity as a ball player.
No, it really has. And one of the scouts for the Dodgers that went over to evaluate Ohtani in Japan and write up the reports, he made a point of, what's he going to be better at, pitching or hitting? And he said pitching. He said he will be a better pitcher. He's going to. And the crazy thing is it's hard to imagine, especially after the year that he had offensively last season. But when he's right.
フィラデルフィアの大歓声が渦巻くシチズンズバンクパークにて今夜ロサンゼルスドジャースがシーズン序盤最大の試練に立ち向かう。その中心に立つのは我らが誇る日本球界が生んだ若き天才佐々木朗希だ。敵地で迎えるフィリーズ戦。無敗で波に乗る相手を抑え込めるか。デーブ・ロバーツ間の強い期待を背に朗希がマウンドへと登る瞬間が迫っている。指揮官ロバーツは朗希には今夜徹底的に攻めの姿勢を見せてほしいと熱く語り、前日の山本由伸の大胆不敵なピッチングを理想の青写真と絶賛した。山本が見せた攻めの速球と鋭利なスプリットが朗希の心を燃やした。捕手にはベテランのオースティン・バーンズが起用されることが決定。これまで佐々木の投球練習を献身的に受けてきたバーンズが絶妙なリードで朗希の潜在能力を最大限引き出そうとしている。ロバーツはその起用理由について、バーンズは朗希の細かな変化を読み取れる。今日はこの2人が新しい歴史を作る日になるだろう。 と絶大な信頼を寄せた。敵地のフィリーズ打線はブライス・ハーパーを筆頭に狡猾で経験豊富、球をじっくりと見極め高級必ず打を徹底してくる難敵だ。しかしロバーツ監督は、朗希が速球を精密に操れば、伝家の宝刀スプリットが最大限生きる、相手を翻弄できるはずだ、と確信を持って語った。そして、この歴史的一戦においても、やはり視線を奪うのは我らが生ける伝説、大谷翔平である。大谷は昨夜、風速と寒さに阻まれ幻の一撃を放った。打球速度は驚愕の時速177キロ、打球角度32度、その打球のホームラン確率は驚異の 96% だったにもかかわらず、ボールは残酷にもフィラデルフィアの強風に飲み込まれた。まさに自然の力に飲み阻止される人類を超えた規格外のパワー。その悔しさを胸に秘め、大谷は今夜も打線の先頭として鋭い眼差しで打席に立つ。その後に続くのは守備の名手として名高いムーキー・ベッツ、強打者テオスカー・ヘルナンデス、そして絶好調のトミー・エドマンら豪華布陣だ。ドジャースは早い回からフィリーズのエース、アーロン、野良攻略を狙い、その後の展開を有利に運ぼうとしている。野良は巧みに球速差を操り、容易には攻略を許さない。しかし大谷を筆頭にドジャース打線は機動力も兼ね備え、その守備網をかいくぐり、一気に勝利をつかみに行く。すべての条件が揃った。完封を切り裂き、圧倒的な才能と底知れぬ情熱を持つ佐々木朗希、そして人類の枠を超えた神業を祝す大谷翔平。今夜、この2人がフィラデルフィアに新たな伝説を刻み込む瞬間を、決して見逃してはならない。さあ皆さん、共に声を上げよう。この奇跡のような一戦、そして大谷翔平が紡ぐ新たなドラマを目撃するために、次回以降の試合にもぜひ注目していただきたい。